Hello and welcome back, everyone. Scootsy16 here with another episode of the Herbisaurs Decade Challenge. And I wanted to start things off with something fun. I did go ahead and revise the Herbisaurs logo. I kind of came up with this design here a long while back, but when my all of my save data got corrupted, I lost all of my created logos. And I got a little bit of inspiration with this new series to recreate this logo. So here it is. I would love to hear your feedback on what you think about this idea, whether you like that logo. I went with just a simple H with the dino in front, or the Herbisaur in front, for the away uniform. I did not actually change around the uniforms just yet. I'm stuck with the standard Herbisaurs logo here. And then I haven't done anything with this alternate uniform. I might just keep it as is, but I'd love to hear any thoughts you have on whether you'd like to see me change up the uniforms themselves. If you have any feedback on the logos that I created here, would love to hear from all of you on that. I might actually play with some of those, the actual uniforms themselves in the or outside of these videos. But if you have any thoughts or feedback, I'd love to hear it. So where did we leave off last time? Well, we went through the first 18 games of the season. We watched the home opener. We got a win there, and we saw a little bit of development from the team. Chuck Filthwick ended up getting 8 velocity. Fiona Clark gained a little bit of contact and fielding. Morton Stamberg gained 1 fielding as well, but Steve-O Reeves is starting to regress. At this point, we're sitting at 11-7. We're 3 games back of the Moose with a +7 run differential, and we have not made any roster moves with this team just yet. So we're going to move forward in the series this week, or in this video. We're going to head over to game 36 by the end of it. And I will try and pick out a game against with Dick Lucas on the mound. So we'll try and plan out what that looks like depending on the other teams and how they're doing. We want to find a pretty fun and competitive matchup for that. Give me 1 second here. The dog's acting up. Let's go. Quiet girly. Good girl. All right. Sorry about that, everyone. So we're going to start things off by just checking in on the players that are in the free agent pool, as we haven't made any moves, but there are some players that we are targeting. So I want to make sure that we are prepared when it's time to make one of those moves. Now, looking at the current situation, we are sitting at plus 0.3 for both Arsenio Armstrong and Track Statsman. Now, they are both very intriguing to me. Remember, we're doing a Chemlock, so we have tier 3 competitive, tier 2 for spirited, disciplined, and scholarly, and only tier 1 for crafty. So we have to keep that in mind with some of the decisions that we make. Now, right now, our right fielder is Juan Rojas with Chili Little at age 21 sitting on the team right now. If we were to go with Track Statsman, we would be spending for a younger player with tier 2 RBI hero. We can also look at bringing in Arsenio Armstrong, who would be cheaper and would have tier 3 cannon arm. So this might just be one of those spots where we fill in for now. But unfortunately, if we make this move for Arsenio, because he's crafty, we would have to get rid of a crafty player as well. And those options are either Nate Hankey, which I do plan to get rid of, or Henry Hamster, who's actually playing really well. I don't know if that is the route that I want to go in just yet, getting rid of Henry. I do think there was a third base option. Actually, let's sort it this way. So for catcher, I do plan to just, get to a point where I can bring in Scout Goderone as our backup to replace Nate Hankey, and that is solely to save money. There's not really any good catchers here that would be intriguing to bring in. It's not a good start for catchers in this base free agent pool. So that's something we'll look at in the offseason, but of course we'll look to develop Fiona Clark as well. At first base, I might look to replace Grunt Manley with Seb Swolson, but he's just not really an exciting option with his traits. He is competitive, though, so that would be an option to help us out. When it comes to third base, I am looking at bringing in Boozle Doozy Shine. Would be a weaker third base option defensively, but a much stronger hitter. And if we were to get rid of Henry Hamster for Boozle, then that would allow us to be able to bring in Arsenio, and we can essentially spend more money on third base versus spending in right field. Boozle's 27, I believe, and he is an elite hitter, so that would actually help us out quite a bit. We would just lose in that defensive category, which isn't ideal, but I think we need a big bopper in the lineup, and Boozle could be that guy. So if we were to go that route, we just have to hope Arsenio lasts for a little bit longer until Boozle gets to that spot where we can afford him. Pitching-wise, I think this is where we're going to be spending some money, as Gem Quilita starts at age 32. She has easy jumps at Tier 3, which isn't good, and she has composed. And I am very much excited about bringing in Warren Yout with his workhorse trait to be our ace of the starting rotation. He's at 1.1 million, so we have to wait a little bit before we can get to that point, and we would spend a little extra to be able to upgrade there. I don't have to really worry about the rest of the starting rotation, but I will look to replace probably, I don't know. I like Tusker, but I just don't think he's going to hold up for us. Olaf might be the first to go. Could be both of them at some point. In the rotation, in the bullpen, we have a lot of work to do here. Chumbo's probably the last to go just because he's competitive and because he is 19 years old. So, and he's cheap. So we might look to replace these other two as quickly as possible, but it's going to be really tough as we don't have a lot of options. I think the ideal candidates would be Forrest Heimlich because he's cheaper and young. There's Sign Blinder who has Rally Stopper. He could be the other one to replace Ramiro. And then we, of course, could consider Archie Alonso as well. But no one has any traits that we're looking for in the bullpen, so that's unfortunate. So all in all, right now, I think we wait a little bit longer. So as we kind of do, we're going to sim ahead 5 games at a time. So I don't think, let's see, are the Nemesis doing well this year? They actually are. So, ooh, shit. Okay. That might be a really good game, competitive game, but I think I'm worried about us getting beat pretty bad. Let's go ahead and sim ahead to that game. Oh, wait, before we do that, let me just also check player development here and see if there's anything that we are waiting for. Nope. I don't think I'll spend this for Tusker. It's intriguing, but I don't want him to gain clutch. Well, I guess it's fine, but I don't want to develop him if he has meltdown, and he's 29, so it's not like he has a lot of upward growth here. So let's sim ahead to this game against the Nemesis, and we'll see where we are in the standings and how the Nemesis are doing, and then we'll decide if that's still a good idea.
Super Mega Baseball.
So I'll just skip ahead. We go 1 and 3 or 1 and 2 there. We're sitting 3.5 back of the Moose. We're 12 and 9. The Nemesis are at 15 and 6. Dick has been pitching really well. Hype the Bets on the other side is a viable candidate to pitch or to hit against. God. Mashed Taters on fire, Jackie Slam locked in, Jock Sports struggling a bit, but terrifying. I don't know if I want to play that game or watch that game. Let's see. The next one would be against the Blowfish. And then after that, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, the Sandcats. So at home against the Blowfish or away at the Sandcats. It was our first game. It was away. So I'm actually leaning more towards the Blowfish. How are they doing? 10 and 11. So they're not great, which means that we could actually hold up against them. Yeah, I kind of worried about this game, so I'm not going to watch this one. I'm too scared to see Dick Lucas get beat up and to see our offense potentially get shut down. So let's avoid that one. Let's see what else is going on here. Development for Yoink to gain a crafty trait isn't ideal. Track Statsman just gained first base and outfield secondary position. Stokes with a chance to gain Sprinter would be amazing for her. So we'll actually look to pay for that one when it comes due. And Ramiro is regressing significantly with minus 11 velocity. So let me actually take note of that one really quick. With Ramiro after game 21. What a weird name. Leonard Ramiro. Probably one of the less weird names, but minus 11 velocity, and that drops him to a C. Okay. So if you missed the last episode, I try and track my progress through these seasons. So let's go ahead and check and see when Annabelle Stokes is going to be available for hers. She has 8 games left. I think we'll wait on this one for a little bit. Actually, you know what? We have so much surplus here. Let's go ahead and do this one now. We are at after game 21. Let's do this for Annabella. No luck there, unfortunately. Oh, I'm glad we did that for her. Loyalty for some reason. That's one of the things that I don't love about these challenges is that I essentially let the loyalty be randomized because I'm not going to do every manager moments and sim one game at a time. So unfortunately, it means that some players just get really bad tanked loyalty throughout the season, and hopefully we can get some of that back for Annabella because she's 22, and I do like her as an option for us to have for the core of this team going forward. So we're not going to do this one for the against the Nemesis. We'll look at how that goes here in just a second, but let's sim ahead to the next game, which will be against the Blowfish. Let's see how we do. We get a big home run, and then we win 4-3. So we actually did win that game, and it looked like a pretty close back and forth matchup that unfortunately we didn't get a chance to see. I hope this one doesn't go poorly for us, because now that's a bummer. Well, we get to see a juiced and locked in Yoink Sacks, so that'll be fun. Let's see, what do we have since that game ended? Polita and Reeves with development. I'm not going to do that for either of them. Boozle's losing one fielding. That's not great. Annabella with development to chance to gain Mind Gamer would only be at tier 1. I kind of want to buy this for her for the arm, but I don't want her to get that Mind Gamer trait. Let's see. Fiona has development. We'll do that for her. And Ramiro regression again. We're going to have to get rid of him sooner rather than later. -2 accuracy. Okay. And that's it for that. So let's look at development here. Annabella. Oh, boy. Well, we know for sure we're going to do this one for Fiona. That Rally Starter trait would actually be really nice for her with a big boost to her contact. It would be plus 25 when we're trailing and the bases are empty. So let's do this one. We are at what game? Game 25 of the season. And this one for Fiona Clark. She's going to gain 1 power, fielding, and speed. And she does not gain the bonus power. She doesn't get the bonus speed. And she does gain the Rally Starter trait. So I would have preferred something like Cannon Arm or Durable on her with with her being a catcher and all, but I guess we will take this. So just making note of this. And that will keep her at a C+. Now, again, I'm a bit bummed by that, but that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. I would have rather had Sprinter on Annabella versus Rally Starter on Fiona. She might not be a future member of the team at this point. Do I risk the dice roll here? 15% chance to gain Mind Gamer. I don't think it's going to happen. Let's go ahead and just do this one too. So Annabella is going to get some development. We're going to roll the dice here and see how it works. She gets the bonus. So +8 arm is amazing. And of course she's going to get Mind Gamer. Gosh darn it. It's obviously not something that hurts, but it doesn't make her, and she jumps up to a B+. So it doesn't make her great for us in this aspect of it, with her getting a green trait there, crafty trait, but it doesn't hurt. So she'll get -8 accuracy to pitchers that she's facing off against. So that helps a little bit, but that'll never go higher because we can never go out of tier 1 for crafty. So we probably just burned both of our like good luck rolls on good traits, and now I don't know when we'll ever get that again. So damn it, that hurts. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this ball game. Start with the suggested lineup first, and we'll go from there. So we have Hamster leading off, Stanberg at 2, I think. Yoink Sax should I guess he can stay in the 3 spot. Grunt is tense. Jesus, Hanky here. I don't like Hanky here at all. I'm going to go back to Whopper in the DH spot. Then Annabella at second base in the 6th spot. Rojas goes to right field, then Stewart and Clark. Sure. This is fine with me. We'll have Dick Lucas on the mound. And let's go ahead with our standard home uniforms here and head out to the field. We're going to be home at Parque Jardinero for our first home game that we're going to get a chance to watch against the Blowfish. So they have a lot of locked-in players, so that is a bit of a concern. We'll see how we can do. If it doesn't start going well initially, then we can just bail out and move on with the rest of the season. But for now, let's see how it goes. So Dick Lucas, who has started off pretty well with a 2.74 ERA this season, a 1.17 whip, and 21 strikeouts so far. The young 21-year-old is likely to be a cornerstone of our rotation for a long time. And Uwanga sends one to deep right center field into the corner. Yoink Sax will come up with his elite arm as he gets it in quickly. It's still going to be a leadoff double for Uwanga. And I missed it, but they signed Boozle Doozy Shine. Oh, you know what? I turned off the notification for transactions when I was doing my Digafordo series recently. I don't know how these videos will line up for recording, but I forgot to turn it back on, and so we missed these notifications. We lost out on Boozle. Ooh, play at third base. Elite throw. Oh my God, no doubt about it, as Yoink Sax throws a missile to third base. I don't know what Nairub was thinking there, but it's going to be a double play. Now nobody on for Harry Backman, who's locked in. I am bummed about Boozy Doozle Shine, and I meant to check that after the last after that last sim before we did the Nemesis, and I totally forgot. Well, Harry Backman strikes out. The whiffer goes down on strikes, and Dick Lucas gives up a double, then gets it washed away with a juiced Yoink Sax laying down the pipe in center field. We'll see how Henry Hamster does from the leadoff spot against Bartholomew Draculo. Hamster batting .343 with 2 home runs and 10 RBIs, so he's been able to play well batting-wise. He grounds out to second base for out number 1, unfortunately. Now Stanberg comes up batting .300, 1 home run, 3 RBIs. We need to get this guy going. He is definitely a cornerstone piece, despite being a little bit older at age 28. He lofts one into left field, and that'll drop in front of Marvin Steed. A 1-out single. And here comes Yoink Sax, who already threw somebody out at third base, batting .269 on the year with 2 home runs and 10 RBIs, getting a huge boost to his power and contact. With great speed over at first. Runner takes off. Hit and run failed. Sliding into second base safely as the ball is misplayed at second base. I think that's Sting McGee behind the plate with a slightly above average arm. 1-2 count. And Yoink fouls one off. Runner in scoring position with one out. Yoink strikes out swinging. Damn it. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was a good idea to leave him there in that 3 spot. Grunt comes up, having an awful season. He's probably on the chopping block much sooner rather than later with his age as he grounds to third base. He went from tense to rattled after grounding out. He had RBI hero activated. It didn't matter. And we're scoreless through 1. This will be a tough spot for Dick Lucas against Marvin Steed, batting .246 with 4 home runs, 9 RBIs. Tier 3 power versus righties activated. And slaps a base hit up the middle. Sprinter activates on his way to first. That'll be a lot. I think that's now a on fire mojo for Marvin Steed. He's on first for Jose Carloco, the big batter in the lineup, batting .338, 4 home runs, 14 RBIs.
Strike.
Elite speed over at first base with Steed as he takes off. Fiona with a great arm. Look at him! Oh my God, Marvin Steed gets rung up at second base. The defense playing it up today. Fiona with that amazing arm and at the perfect time as this one goes to deep center field and it's going to land in the batter's eye. A no-doubt shot to dead center field for Jose Carloco. And it's going to be a 1-0 lead. Could have been worse. It could have been a 2-0 lead, thankfully. As we got the runner at stealing second base first. And Elvis Stanley is tense, struggling this year, batting .247. Dick Lucas already tense as well. And a grounder to first. Grunt Manley will get that one. And I believe Stanley just dropped to rattled as well. Sting McGee comes up batting .205. 1 home run, 7 RBIs this season. Both catchers in the lineup with Harry Backman DHing today. Ball misses high. It's a 2-0 count. And a gentle loft to center field. It's going to be cut off by Milo Stewart, caught on a line. So 1 run on a home run from Jose Carloco will put us in a deficit heading to the bottom of the second. And Whopper Batsman, who has been awful this season, he's batting .063. He immediately will get tough out activating here. I put a lot of trust in him, and it doesn't pan out as he pops out to left field. Annabella just got some extra development. You'll see the Mind Gamer trait activated and how low impact that is. Just -8. She's batting .253 on the season. And a way late swing on the fastball there as Dracula gets another strikeout. See how Rojas can do, batting .220 on the season so far. Looking for his first home run with the team. Instead, he slaps a grounder to third, and Boozle will toss that to first to end the inning. So the offense is quiet. Only 1 hit so far, but we're only down by 1. We'll see how Dick Lucas can bounce back. Rod Forth comes up, batting .333 with no home runs and 3 RBIs. He's one of those weird players where he's just got talent in 2 areas. Elite contact, elite speed, but no power, no fielding, no arm. Becomes a really weird player to figure out how to use in your lineup. Ball in the dirt, it's a 2-2 count. Come on, Dick. And he'll serve up a fly out to left field. Easy play for Sandberg, out number 1.
Number 50, Cheyenne Hill.
And here's Cheyenne Hill. Also has Mind Gamer at Tier 1. Batting .200, 1 home run, 6 RBIs. Dick will start low and away, and he misses. Another one outside, misses. Cheyenne Hill to deep center field. Yoink Sachs will get this one right at the edge of the warning track for out number 2.
Center fielder, number 31.
Great hit from Cheyenne.
Wanga.
Wanga had that line drive to right center field in his first at bat. Then he got caught advancing to third base from Yoink Sachs. He's locked in. And he'll slap a base hit. Where's the dive wizard at? Annabella doesn't attempt at it, and it's going to be a single for Wanga, his second time on base in 2 at-bats.
Bozo Doozy Shine.
And then here comes Boozle. Hit one hard to center field, but right to Yoink Sachs in his last at-bat.
That's a strike.
Strike catches the top of the zone, a 1-1 count. And that one's going to go get out of here. Boozle Doozy Shine. Wish he was doing that for us. That's my own fault.
How about the designated hitter, number 26, Harry?
2-run shot makes it a 3-0 ball game, and now Harry Backman will come up. He struck out last time. It's been a bit of an unfortunate game for us so far, as the Blowfish have gotten the offense going a few different times, and ours has been dead quiet. Grounder through the right side, and another ball that Annabella could have probably got to if she dove.
How about it? The left fielder, number 66, Marvin Steed.
Now Steve will come up 1-for-1 with a single. Locked in, but was on fire before he got caught stealing second base. Swings through strike 1. There's 2 outs. Dick Lucas still tense. Good speed at first base, but not great. Oh my God, Marvin Steed, dead center field. That one's way out of here. And that's going to do it for me. I'm not going to continue to watch this game as we chose the wrong one to watch, folks. 466 for Marvin Steed, 5th home run and 11th RBI of the season. And, yeah, so Dick gets rattled, and he's going to get pulled for Chuck Filthwick. And that's where we're going to call this one. We're down 5-0 in the third. Not boding well for us. Well, let's go ahead and start looking at some potential roster moves. So, an unfortunate game. We end up losing 5-0, and I feel like this team is just average right now, and I think the season standings pretty much show that as well. 14-12 through 26 games. We are simming ahead by the end of this video to game 36, so it's probably going to end a little bit earlier here. But we're at 0 run differential, so nothing has really happened for us just yet. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I can filter the news to add those transactions back. And let's see, when did Boozle get picked up? He got picked up right before this series started with right as the series started with the Blowfish. Track's gone too. Shit. That is definitely my mistake, but it is what it is. I don't think either of them, Boozle or Track, were the right options for us. I don't know if I want to kind of push in on this team. I probably just want to see what we can develop and where we go from there. And Anita Bean in the free agent pool loses 8th velocity, which isn't ideal either. So let's look at these potential roster moves. This is the time for us to bring in Warren Yount. He's 28, but at a pitcher like this, you want to get him in as soon as possible. So let's bring in Warren. We're going to replace Jem Quilita. Actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and take a look at Jem and how she's done. Oh, that's the wrong button. She's been pitching amazing for us. So 7 games, she's only allowed 6 total earned runs for a 1.50 ERA, which is amazing. In addition to that, only 23 hits, 6 walks, a 0.08 or a 0.81 whip. Damn, she is pitching really well, and a complete game. So That's really, really frustrating that we have to let her go, but we couldn't make another move here. This is too expensive. You know what? Before we do this, let's noodle on this a minute. Who can we get rid of? We could look to get rid of Grunt Manley. He has been really, really bad for us. We can look to get rid of Nate, Hanky. Henry is more expensive, but he's been playing well. Morton, I think we keep around. And then there's Sal Slinger and Chuck Filthwick. Middle of their... Let's just take a look at the team so far and see. We have Henry having a great year. Boy, our power numbers are really bad. You have Yoink and Henry tied in the league lead, or the team lead with home runs and RBIs. It's not looking good. So just because he's still producing, let's keep Henry around. Morton with a 301 average is good enough for me. He's got a better OPS than Hamster with his 5 doubles and 3 triples. So that really looks nice. Yoink has been playing well enough that I'll keep him around for now, but he's not a part of our core. And he is 27, so he's a bit older as well. Grunt has had an awful season, and he is absolutely on the chopping block. He's making $9.5 million right now, so I don't think we can justify that. Whopper's only $3.7 million, so he's fine to keep around despite not playing well. Annabella, she's young. We want to try and see if she can sort things out. Rojas has been bad. Stewart has been fine. We'll keep him around. And Fiona Clark's having a pretty solid season so far, which is surprising. Blue's been bad. Little with a home run already in limited time. Hanky is gone. And Steve-O's been fine. Pitching-wise, Gem's great. Dick Lucas, not really. Husker, not great. Olaf, fine. Chombo been really bad. Romero been bad. Ripken's barely pitching. And then you have Filthwick with a 3.43 ERA and Slinger with a 3.38. So they're both pitching really well and both getting a lot of pitching time. They actually are tied with Olaf and Tusker for essentially most innings pitched, or about the same innings pitched, which is crazy. So with that little bit of inventory done, let's see. Can we get rid of Nate Hanky yet? Scout is at 2.1. To save some money, sure, let's just do this. Let's get rid of Scout. Or let's bring in Scout for Nate. We could probably bring Scout in later for cheaper, but I'm fine with just paying this now to cut down on spending quite a bit. So we're going to make this as we're listening to big moves. This is funny. I do document on my moves here, so we're going to put... I'm writing this all down really quick, so bear with me here. He is a C+, 31, catcher, and he is... Oops, sorry, let me check this. So Nate is 5.1, and he's worth 5.1. Then we go with Scout. Scout is bad. Maybe somebody will get dropped in the free agent pool that we can bring in, but she is just here as a placeholder. She's not a part of the future at all. 2.1 million. Okay, so there's big move number one. You know we make those big moves. So that'll make Fiona our for sure starting catcher going forward. Now, who do we get rid of here at first base? Well, let's for sure do this one. So we can always get rid of Jem Colita later, but I am going to get rid of Tusker Fuss. I'm going to put this in here really quick. B 29. an SP, and he is worth 7.9. And we're going to bring in Warren Yout, and we can do that. That'll work with the chemistry. I don't know how long we keep both Warren and Gem on the team together, but we're making some room, so it'll be worth it to me. And at the end of the day, if we have to get rid of Gem to make room for this later, I'm fine with it. So I'm excited for Warren to join the team. He's one of my favorite free agent players. He just seems to always do a really great job. So we get 1 year younger, we get a lefty in the team, and we're at 13.7 million in surplus still. So spend a little extra, but it's going to be worth it. Now, let's see if we can get rid of one of these pitchers down here. We have Horace, who's right at his price point at 20 years old. This is where I'm going to make this move. So we're going to go with Elric Rippin. I'm not a big fan of closers anyways, and with him, I just don't think he's a good looking player, and he's 38 years old. So easy decision here. And he is worth 2.3, and he's getting paid 2.3. And we're going to bring in Horace Heimlich. So Horace,
hungry or thirsty? Cover all the bases and chug a super gravy gulp
nothing
today.
special here. We're probably not going to keep him for the long haul, but for now, he is going to come in as a young, developable option. Maybe he gets Cake Collector or something crazy like Workhorse to help bolster his reason to stay on the team. All right, so that's another move. It's going to bring us down to 12 million in surplus now. Let's see. Where do we go from here? Next decision, I think, could be to replace... Let's see what our options are to replace Grunt here. So stimulated or peak physique, definitely not the option here. The only one that we can afford to bring in is Seb. I want to go one more or a couple of games more before we decide to bring him in. Do we have other options at first? We have Hamster that can go to first, but then we don't have a good true third baseman. We have Reeves that can play first and Blue that can play first. But Ralph's another guy I'm going to look to get rid of. Let's see if we can maybe replace Ralph with a different competitive player, and that will allow us to have more flexibility with Grunt Manley. Ooh, and I am going to go look at Arsenio Armstrong here in a second. So let's do this first. So infielders that have competitive. We have Dilly Daller. Intriguing option, but I think I'm going to pass, especially with bad jumps. But Puckerton would just be a bench bat option, and he's right below his price point. And then there is Seb. And Seb can still be somebody we decide to bring in for Blue, but I think for the flexibility, Butt Puckerton with both third base and first base capabilities, I think this is the route we go, and we'll save 1.2 million here. So let's go with Ralph Blue. And let me know what you think about these moves in the comments down below. If you are liking the way that I'm kind of switching up this team, keep in mind this is kind of a process that I have done quite a lot with a more long-term version of this series. And so I do a lot of this of kind of like, there's a few pieces that I definitely want to keep around for the long haul, but not everyone on this team are players that I want to keep. So we're going to put Butt Puckerton on the team, and he is a C+. This actually gives us, he's not a good fielder with a pretty poor arm as well, so he's not going to be a viable defensive option at all over Henry Hamster, but it is something to know that we have that option. Puts us back up to 13.2 million. And now if we get rid of Grunt Manly, we could do it for any of the options here. So, God, they're so bad. So you have Peak Physique, who's right at his price point. He's 24. So while Stimulated won't do much, it would be a better power option. Well, I guess it would be right around the same. A better power option. We drop in contact speed and arm, which is fine. Fielding gets better. And he's 24 instead of 32. This would be fine for now, because if we do get a chance to develop him, maybe he gets something like Tough Out. Maybe he gets something that'll help him offensively. That'll make him more viable for us. Otto Von Olio, more of a defensive or a backup option on the bench. And I'm not interested. I don't think I really am interested in Dwayne Butterfingers either. Let's go with Peak here. For Grunt Manly, it's time for us to get to move on from him. Grunt was a guy I was interested in maybe seeing how he would play and sticking around maybe as a veteran, just because the well-rounded player that he is. But boy, couldn't have seen how bad this was going to be when we brought him in. So it's just really unfortunate that that we haven't seen more out of him. So we're going to get rid of him, and we're going to bring in young Peak Physique, which I am a bit excited about. I definitely didn't think that was the route I was going to go at first. And we still might go cheaper later on, too. But one of the fun things about this is we're going to see 10 years of these players. So what Peak Physique looks like, he has a lot of time for development, and he could be much, much better. There could be a version of him that you've never seen before exist in this franchise. So I am really curious to see how it pans out. And I hope you are excited for these young players as well. That's a move we're going to make at first base. We got ourselves back to 14.5 million in surplus. Remember, we start at 16.4 with all these moves that we've made. Our starting rotation is so much better. Our offense, I would say, probably didn't upgrade much. We just went with Peak. We lost Hanky for Scout, which is fine. And we went from Blue to Puckerton, which I think is a downgrade there. But Blue is just not a part of the team that I'm interested in seeing long term. All right, and let's go ahead and take a look here. If we were to bring in Arsenio, Jesus, every right fielder is crafty except for Sluggy. Arsenio is a slight upgrade and upcharge in price. We could wait a little bit longer and see if we can get him for right around 7.7. One of the nice things about Juan Rojas is his ability to play center field, catcher, and he is a solid fielder with a great arm. So we'd lose that, but we now get cannon arm from Arsenio Armstrong, which is fun. I think that would be really exciting to see. I'm just kind of thinking through this and whether I want to make that move. If we don't do that, other options I don't think Axel makes sense here. Hopper Fencer doesn't make sense. None of these guys really make sense for me. So I think I'm just going to go with, the other thing is we could go with Sluggy here. It would still keep us above 10. And we get a really good hitter. Weaker fielder. Same age. But a big upgrade in our offense. And I think that coupled with our defense could be really nice. And our starting rotation. The other option I want to look at here, is how much does it cost to go here? So Miro's is competitive, which means we'd have to bring in a competitive player. We can't do that. Oh wow! Hold on a second. This just changed everything. Wagyu Takobi developed K Collector this early already. Well, we're going to Wagyu. we're going to get rid of Olaf Slackoff right now, and we're going with Wagyu Takobi. Holy moly, I'm so glad I saw that. Okay, so let me take these notes really quick. Thank you for bearing with me, everyone. This was a big turn of events. And I'm glad I didn't go with Arsenio Armstrong at this point, because that would have been a big missed opportunity. We would have had to get rid of him already.
Standards and Norms Agency
So Slackoff is
invites you to
36
fill out
years
our
old.
form
He's a starting pitcher. He is worth 7.5.
Available
He's
on our
getting
website.
paid
You can
7.5.
find that website at
And we are going to bring in this. I've never seen Wagyu Takobi with this type of development, so this is amazing. He's crafty, which does stink because we have to keep that at 2, so we're limited in our crafty options. But this is going to be fun, I think. So Wagyu Takobi is a B- now. I think he starts as a B or as a C+. And he is 23 years old, so a lot of room for development. We can really focus on developing him. We're going to pay him 7.4, but he's worth 5.4. He's worth 5.6. And okay, so that puts us to 16.6. That works. Now I think we hold on to Juan Rojas because there's no. We go to Sluggy. How much is this going to go? Actually, I still think we could do this. Keeps our discipline at tier 2. And let's see. He's well under his price, actually. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to bite the bullet, and I'm going to bring in Sluggy for Juan. I'll go through a recap here of all these moves, but we have gotten rid of 3, 6. This will be the 7th player we are replacing. And we'll probably do more before we get to the end of the season, but we'll see. Oops, he's 31. Right fielder. I'm sorry if any of these players that I've replaced are some of your favorites, but I think this is all for the name of improving the team. So we missed out on Boozle Doozy Shine, but we do get Sluggy Boomhauer, and honestly, I find that I always mix those two players up. They just both seem like they're cut from the same cloth, if you will. And he is a right fielder. He's 10.8, but worth 11.5, so we're getting a deal on him. All right, I don't think we're going to do one more sweep through here. I don't think that there's any other moves that I am interested in making. I'm looking for positive traits here. We could go. We see Jefe Manzano is not an option, but I will put a star next to him. If he gets really cheap, we could maybe bring him in for like Steve-O Reeves, or if we're not going to keep Chili Little. We're not going to do Arsenio at this point. And we were talking Frago Balanstandos, which he could be the replacement of Gem Quilita. But with this team improving the way that it has just now, I feel like we hold. I think we wait. Also, Yanagi Hai could be one of those options as well, but he's 28. It's not exciting. Oh, and then the last move. So I can't make a move for Leonard Ramiro at this point because he's competitive. We would have to bring in a competitive player. Let's actually check that out really quick. Our competitive options are Swolson, Daller, Bean, Brago, and Beta. We're not doing Beta. And I don't think it makes sense to go with Bean. Daller, do we bring her in to replace Milo Stewart? Nope, he's competitive, so it would be a wash. And then we have Seb Swolson. If we brought him in, We'd have to get rid of, so like Butt Puckerton. I'm actually going to do Seb instead of Butt here, I think. I think Seb is the more interesting bat, and he can work as a DH because we are in the DH league. Better than Whopper right now. And Butt Puckerton isn't really anything good for us. So if we did that, though, we would not have an alternative infield third base option. So actually, never mind. We're not going to make that move. This is it for moves. So just so you know, in case you lost track of everything as I was talking through it, we had the first move we made was getting rid of Nate Hankey in place of Scout Goddard. This was just a cost-cutting maneuver, as Nate Hankey is not part of our future at all. We brought in Warren Yount to replace Tusker Fuss. Warren is going to be, I think, the ace of this staff for a very long time, barring future free agent young players. We brought in Horace Heimlich to replace Elric Rippin. So this is an upgrade to our terrible bullpen. We then went with Butt Puckerton over Ralph Blue. This was a move to work with our chemistry and still give us an option at third base. We get rid of Grunt Manley for peak physique, and that's a move because of the disappointing lack of production from Grunt, and to try and get younger and save some money there. We also went with Wagyu Takobi over Olaf Slackoff. That was a move because somehow Wagyu randomly developed K Collector, so we couldn't miss out on that. And then lastly, we brought in Big Bopper Sluggy Boomhauer in replace of Juan Rojas. So the team looks a lot different. We're at 13.5 million. Let's make sure we're not missing anything when it comes to development here, and nobody is going to get any development. There's still an option to replace Jem Colita, but we're not going to do that right now. And let's go ahead and sim forward. We are aiming to get to the 36th game here. So by the end of this game, the one game against the Jacks. So let's do maybe 4 games here. Sim ahead to the second game of the Sandcats. And then we'll do one more sim to end the episode here. Actually, let's do 5 games. Up to game 31. 14 and 12, we go to 16 and 5. So the team actually got a little bit worse. We're at 3.5 games back. And we are getting a little bit of regression here from Chuck Filthwick. Luckily, we got him a lot of development. So after game 27, Chuck Filthwick loses 1 fielding. Not a big move there. It doesn't affect his ratings. Morton with development, I like that. Chili with development, we will probably do that. Peak Physique with development, we'll definitely do that. Tarak Smith just became available as the hot corner signed Pearl Pansky. Tarak is a solid development option at age 19, but I think our starting rotation is kind of set. I think Tarak is a disciplined player, so I don't know what our flexibility looks like there. All right, let's do this one for Peak Physique. We're at game, 31? So we'll do this one for Peak. He does not get the bonus there, so it's just going to be a straight +1 power and +1 contact for Peak. And that is going to do just a little bit for him, not much. We're not going to do this for Milo. He's 29. I just don't like spending the money there. We have Chili Little developing arm with a chance to gain the low pitch. You know what? Sure, he's 21. Let's do it. See how it goes. So Chili Little gets +3 arm, and he does not get the low pitch. He does bump up to a B- though, so he is improving slightly. At 21, that's always a good thing. I don't think he's going to be a core of the team unless he gets a really great competitive trait, which I'm not anticipating happening. He's just got such low contact that it makes me a little bit anxious there. And I want to do this one for Morton. I think he's a piece I think is worth keeping happy and keeping around. So Morton will not get the bonus there. He's just going to get a simple +1 contact, +1 fielding, and he remains an A-. All right. Let's go ahead and do our last sim. We're not going to make any other roster moves here. We are set for now. Let's go ahead and do our last sim because we are running out of time at this point. I was ahead of schedule. Now I fell way behind because of all those roster moves. So let's go ahead, sim to our last 6 or 5 games here. We end the half of the season at 19-17, which is unfortunate. We have a 0 run differential, and we are sitting in 3rd place, and we are 2.5 games back of the Moose, and the Wild Pigs are a half game ahead of us. So it is a tight division right now. I don't know if the decisions that we've made were the right decisions, but for now, those are the ones we've made. A couple minutes left. I want to make sure I'm a bit efficient here, but to finish things off, let's see what happened. Some development options. We'll come back to those in a moment. We lost 1 power on Sluggy, which isn't great after we brought him in. -1 power. Let's see what else happened. We have Heidi Betts is available. Whopper with some development would be nice. Yoink Sex just gained Noodle Arm. Luckily, it's only at tier 1, but our greatest defender just regressed. That makes me very frustrated. All right, what else happened? We got development for Wagyu in an elite pitch. We'll definitely do that for him. Rakana gets signed, and Morton Steinberg with more development. All right, let's do these really quick. I'm going to be quick here. So Wagyu with development. Let's go ahead and pay for that one. And he does not get it, so he is going to get the +1 across the board. I'm just typing this in really quick, and I'm trying to rush myself here so I don't run out of time. And he remains a B-. Whopper with development. We'll look at that at the next game. Same with Morton here. Those are the only other options I would consider. Lastly, let's take a look at the league leaders and see how the team is doing at the halfway mark of the season, only at 19-17. We have Jem Quilita in the top 6, so that's really nice to see. We have Henry Hamster with a 337 average as a number 8 in the top 10. Nobody in the home run category or RBIs. That doesn't surprise me. No one in these percentages. Henry has 34 hits, tied for 2nd in the league. No one in extra base hits. No one for stealing any bases. And then for saves, Sale has 6, Chuck has 4. No one in ERA. Sale with a .88 whip, Jem with a .95. Then we have a 197 OBA for Sale, and Jem with 39 strikeouts in the top 10. Chuck with strikeouts per 9, and Jem with the strikeouts per walk. So a couple players in the top 10 is really fun to see. I'm going to leave this up to finish the video off. Just want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this new series. It's going to look like this, be a bit chaotic and scattered throughout as we get into a routine. Just remember, we're in it for the long haul, so we want to make sure we're building a good team. We have 10 years to find as many championships as we can, and we got to see if we can get the right players in place to find success. I'm hoping that we can do that with the Herbisaurs. Warren Yout, great job to start his career with the Herbisaurs. Not so much for Wagyu, unfortunately, but I hope you're enjoying this series. Let me know if you have any thoughts in the comment section down below. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel, as I am aiming for 150 subscribers if I haven't gotten there yet. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.